Welcome VR lovers and Oculus Quest fans. My name is Tony and I'm bringing today's episode to you from inside this lovely custom Star Wars home environment that you can get for the Oculus Quest, which I showed you how to do in last episode. I will show you how you can get other environments like this Star Trek one at the end of this episode. We'll also hear some interesting news from creator of SideQuest, Shane Harris. We'll take a look at new and upcoming titles in the Oculus Quest store and the Oculus SideQuest store, such as To The Top, which is a fantastic new platforming game on the Quest. And we'll also take a look at how you can play Half-Life on your Oculus Quest for free. And when I say free, I mean you won't even have to buy a copy of the game. We also look at Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. And remember to subscribe if you like this episode, as this will help me make more. So it's a jam-packed episode today. There's lots to cover. Let's get to it. Recently, a podcast called The VR Download interviewed creator of SideQuest, Shane Harris, to get his take on the creation of SideQuest and what he thinks the future holds for SideQuest. The interview goes for about 15 minutes. There's a link to the podcast in my description below, so make sure you take a listen. I just want to point out a few interesting points that Shane brought up during the interview. The first point concerns the creation of SideQuest. Shane says that SideQuest began through recognizing a niche in the market. He was a developer who had his content rejected. Oculus Store has a very high standard, and a lot of developers who have great content were getting rejected, so he saw this niche and developed SideQuest, which is another option for developers to showcase their content. Shane also mentioned they have about a third of Quest users using SideQuest at the moment, and they also have a great relationship with the people at Oculus, so looks like for the foreseeable future, SideQuest is here to stay. Shane also mentions releasing something in the next couple of months called SideQuest Legends. This will be a beta, and apparently it will be a platform for people to hang out and play games. So the first thing that came to my mind, which might be similar to SideQuest Legends, is something like Rec Room or the Facebook social space that's being developed. So I'm keeping my eye out for that one and really looking forward to hearing more news about SideQuest Legends. And the good news kept on coming, as Shane mentioned he wants to keep the service free for both users and developers. And Shane also mentioned the development of something called SafeSide, which is an app that's being developed to help protect users from malicious apps that could be potentially sideloaded onto the Quest. So when you get the chance, do check that interview out. The link to the podcast is in the description below. Next, we take a look at some of the recent releases in the SideQuest store, starting with To The Top. To The Top was one of the developers that actually got rejected from the official Oculus Quest store. According to one interview, which I will link in the description below, the developers had done all this work on the game only to have Oculus cancel and reject the concept, which left the developers actually quite miffed because they were unsure why, as the game is on other platforms like PSVR and is actually done very well. You have to pay $14.99 for this game, or just over 20 Australian dollars, which to me is a steal for that price. This game is fantastic. You can see a link to a video on my first impressions in this video and in the description below. It's a platformer game where you use your hands to grab, jump and leap all your way to the finish line in as quick a time as possible. It has 35 levels and plenty to collect and unlock, and it's a real shame this didn't come out in the Oculus store, because the developer said if it had, it would have had a multiplayer function, which it doesn't currently have. A multiplayer would be a fantastic addition. Another game that caught my attention this week is Physics Bowling. So Physics Bowling is a bowling alley simulator, a bit like Wii Sports or Sports Bar VR. For a closer look, you can see my video review of this game in the link in this video and in the description below. The physics work really well, the bowling works well, and there are lots of nice hidden Easter eggs to find. The developer said they originally made this for PC, so there's a lot of things that aren't quite working just yet, such as the other games you find in the bowling alley, such as pool and air hockey, but the developer tells me he's working on it, so I really can't wait to see where this one goes. Next, Valve are releasing the complete Half-Life series on Steam for free, so you can download this game for free until Half-Life Alyx is released, so for a limited time, a few months. So get in there and download the original Half-Life. Then, once you've downloaded the original Half-Life, you can go to Lambda VR, download this onto your Quest, and you can begin playing the original Half-Life on your Oculus Quest. Now, I made a video tutorial on installing Half-Life onto your Quest with all the HD textures and models, and I'm very happy to say that video tutorial was included in the official Reddit instructions that you can see here. So if you go to the Reddit page here, click on this link on how to install it, you'll see a link to my YouTube video just there. And that will tell you how to install Half-Life with all the HD textures and models. Thank you to Mr. 90 for including my instructions on that page. I've linked his channel in the description below too. I'll also provide a link to this tutorial video in my description as well. Next we go to the Oculus Quest store and we see there's a Lunar New Year sale. Now I'll be over it in a couple of days, but there's quite a few good titles here, including A Fisherman's Tale, which is a short but great little experience, and you save quite a bit of money on that one. Now it's been a bit quiet in the Oculus store in terms of new titles, but we see coming soon, the 28th of January, Audica. Now Audica is a rhythm shooter, a bit like a cross between Pistol Whip and Space Pirate Trainer VR, at least that's what it reminds me of. In the Oculus store, it currently has 4.5 stars out of 339 ratings, so clearly it's a good game. It's a cross-platform title, so if you own it on the PC, you'll also own it on the Quest. Now, I'm a fan of rhythm games, and rhythm games have traditionally done quite well on VR platforms. And this game is from the creator of Guitar Hero, so I expect good things. Finally, if you have a link cable for your Oculus Quest, this means you can play your PC Oculus titles on your Quest. And one PC title that has come up recently is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is an adventure survival horror game with RPG elements, which sees you trying your best to survive in a city infested with zombies.
By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
This game has a 78 on Metacritic out of 11 critic scores, so it's a good game. So they say it lasts about 11 hours, which is a decent length, particularly for a VR game. It's meant to be a very anxiety-provoking experience, a very physical experience, and the weapons apparently feel very realistic. And reviews say it has a strong story, detailed graphics, realistic physics, and nice RPG elements. The only negatives I've heard from reviews is that sometimes the environments can be a bit bland, sometimes the missions perhaps a bit repetitive, and the AI at times leaves something to be desired. But overall, I think these are all relatively minor points, and this is, at the end of the day, an awesome game and one to put on your wish list.
Finish the fucker!
Please. Get out here! Not like that!
End him now!
And finally, I will show you how to get those home environments that you saw at the beginning of the video onto your Oculus Quest. First, you access this Discord site and accept the invite. The link to the site is in the description of this video below. Now, once you're onto the Discord site, you look down the left-hand column, then you click on Custom Environments. Here you'll see a range of custom environments people have posted up. Now, I'm choosing the one from Tycho Tech, which is the 3D basic Star Trek bridge with audio as well. So you see, you just download that file. It's a APK file. Once the file is downloaded, it looks something like this. Now I go into my SideQuest. I make sure the Oculus Quest is connected. If you're unsure about what SideQuest is and how to install it, I have a link to a tutorial video that I produced that you can find in the description below. Then I go into the apps, I click show all, make sure that's ticked. Then I go down to the home environment that I want to uninstall so I can install this one. Now there are 3 home environments on your Quest. You want to uninstall the one that the APK file relates to. Now the APK file that I downloaded relates to the home environment Rift Home. And I know that because it says it in the file itself. So I uninstall Rift Home from my Quest. Once I've done that, I drag and drop the APK file onto the SideQuest logo, and we'll see that it's actually installing it when we look at our task list. So there it is, it's now installed. All you need to do is put the Quest on your head, go into virtual environments in settings, click on Classic Home, which is the one we replaced, and there we are. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing, as this helps me make more like this in the future, and I'll see you next time.